Welcome to Tune Into Media. I'm Erin Skipper, and I'm about to launch into a spotlight series on two very special people in my life. Their names are Asia and Britt Hart. They are identical twins, and they're also psychic mediums. They are very, very special to me. Our lives have been just incredibly interwoven and beautifully meshed together the last few years. I've been doing a lot of work with Asia, doing a lot of exchange. I do energy healing, a modality called Sunpoint Energy Realignment, and she offers me basically life and business coaching. Yes, they're psychic mediums, but what they really do is help you live right now in this life the fullest, most authentic, most purposeful for your soul purpose. This isn't easy shit. Some people, they seem to have it figured out. I was a meditation teacher in Los Angeles for many years, and this is actually where I was living when I met Britt Hart. And Britt showed up. April 24th was the day she walked into my life, literally just showed up into my life. And 4 days earlier, on April 20th, 2018, I had experienced a very sudden and tragic loss. I'd been working very closely with the DJ and producer Avicii. A few weeks prior to that, I had been working one-on-one with him at his house, having a profound spiritual connection. And, you know, it was so shocking to me because I thought this was somebody that was going to be in my life. We were going to be working together, for a long time, because meeting him was so significant for me, and it just felt like everything in my life. I've been reviewing some of the conversations that I've had with Asia and Britt because, so 4 days after Tim Avicii passed away, Britt showed up on April 24th, and I was asking her what she did for work, and she said that she was able to see and hear spirit, and that she had since she was young, and that she was a medium. And I've had a lot of experiences throughout my life. I'm a highly sensitive person and also an empath. And, I grew up in a very spiritual, very new age. My mom's side of the family is Native American, and my grandparents, even my great-grandparents, everyone meditated. They all studied with an Indian guru, Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, who was the founder of the Transcendental Meditation Program. And so it was very much like my family legacy is very much tied into this tradition of transcendental meditation and this Vedic tradition of masters and knowledge and information and techniques for higher states of consciousness. I'm very appreciative for that background, very appreciative, and very grateful for the sort of understanding of consciousness being not bound by the human body. This is something that has been very much a part of my understanding and upbringing and my experience over and over and over again. My experience has verified, validated this for me, and yet I was still sort of resistant and afraid, and I feel like a lot of people are afraid of things that they can't see and understand, and life after death is certainly one of those things. I have listened to now hundreds, if not thousands, of people sharing their experiences with near-death experiences, shared death experiences, pre-birth experiences. There's a lot of great experiences and testimonies on YouTube and online, and it's so comforting to me when I listen to them. And the reason that I do listen to them is because of that. It's like therapy, because it makes me feel not so alone in my experiences of seeing and hearing people have passed on, and then going through a shared death experience with Avicii when he passed away in 2018, and having a lot of communication with him, because Britt showed up in my life 4 days after he died and was like, I see and hear dead people. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. Me too. Sometimes. I don't know, but I did just lose somebody. And then I reached out to her. I was devastated. and it was announced in like the news that his death had been by suicide. And I reached out to her and I was like, what happens when people die by suicide? And she just immediately was like, well, he's around you and you can go talk with him. And so I did. And I had just the most amazing experience, and I've shared about it in other videos. I don't want to retell the whole story right now. I've shared it so many times. I've recorded it, and I have a few videos because I have hundreds of pages written of conversations that I had with him. And what was happening was she would tell me exactly what I had experienced or seen, and it was like, okay, she is clearly dialed in, like she is next level gifted. And it was kind of shocking even to me, like, again, we all have sensitivities, and I think we all have this ability. Some of us keep it, for longer periods of time outside of our childhood. I think a lot of children have it naturally. And then we're just sort of told like, that's impossible. Our brains are conditioned is a nice way to say brainwashed or limited. We're educated in a way that, really limits like our brain's capacity to even understand and fathom the actual reality and the just enormity of what is possible of, in the universe and our consciousness, and again, higher states of consciousness in cities, and enlivening our own inner abilities of sight and perception, and not just like visual sight, but clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance, all the different clairs that allow us to perceive and digest and assimilate information from past, present, future, other dimensions. This is some real shit. It's some real shit. And I know it scares some people, and some people just don't believe it. Anyway, I don't want to digress. I don't want to go off on that tangent because I could, and I just feel like it'll derail me right now. I just want to share that Britt and Asia have been really important in my life, and especially the first several months after Avicii passed away. So much happened, but she was really able to validate my experiences, which helped me to understand that like what I was perceiving and feeling and seeing sometimes, and the information that I was receiving from Avicii, that it was real. And even when I was at his house, like, and even before I went to his house, she was verifying very specific details, things that I was experiencing, things that he and I experienced, and things that he had also even shared with his father, who told me just a little bit in the short period of time that we spoke. Her and Asia have validated very specific details that for me gave me complete confidence and trust. Now, I don't know if I said this in this video already, but it's like nobody can fully predict the future. Every moment we have a choice whether to live in love and joy and truth and or fear and guilt and shame. And we are kind of going about our lives blindly. Like we just go through so much of our life without really even knowing or understanding or even caring to see the bigger picture. This shit is gold. Asia and Britt, they can help hone in, like we all have blind spots. I do energy healing. I do a lot of exchange with Asia and Britt, and they're like connecting with spirit. And when I work on them, I can see and feel, even though we're thousands of miles apart, when I tune into their energy field, I can see and feel exactly how they perceive and receive information from spirit. And that is so freaking cool. And one of the things that's been happening since we've been working together more, and they're doing group readings online. So do check out, I'll post all the links, asiaandbritthart.com. They're doing online group readings for only $17. So you can attend a group reading, get a mini reading, and there's even opportunities to have follow-ups and questions with them, which is really, really priceless. In my humble opinion, I think this is some priceless shit. Pardon my French, but that's how I roll. So get used to it. I hope y'all love it. Please stay tuned. And more importantly, tune into you.